And then we'll perform the sound check. This is the This is when we find out that we're not recording. We just made a trip for no good reason.
Nope, we are recording.
Good.
Can mute that for a second so I actually hear this. Because we don't need background noise right now. Yeah, we have a 7-second delay as usual. Sound check! Headphone warning. We will be loud.
Yes, headphone warning.
I think that one person is us.
Yes. Keep in mind,
Send a message.
neither one of us has a functional volume control button.
Hi guys!
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's me, okay. Okay, welcome to Ace Attorney Finish Right. Or Finish Right Ace Attorney, whichever way you want to say it. This is the first episode.
Yes.
Objection!
Yes. And
I'm hearing that a lot.
Yes, you will.
Every episode you'll be hearing.
I will be playing the first.
Yes, you will be. You'll be playing the first case, and then we'll show you how we're gonna do this after. Because I mean, there's two ways we can do this. We can do this where I run the investigation section, you do the court.
Yeah.
Or we just trade off some other way. But this is the trilogy. This is all 3 games. If you own an original Nintendo DS, you may have played these. They made some slight modifications to them. We're gonna play the first one. Yes, every one of these will have turnabout somewhere in the fucking thing. Just so you know. Alright. Mute this. Apparently we have another one. Which is interesting.
Alright, let's do this.
Play the first turnabout. Yes.
Yes. Alright. We got one veteran over here and one new.
I've played all 3 of these games.
Yes. Hey, weren't we gonna do voices here?
Yeah. You get this one.
Damn it! Why me? I get caught. Not like this.
There you go. Apparently.
I love having someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Okay, if you've never watched this before, that is our thing. We do
the voices for August 3rd, 9:47 a.m.
Excuse me for a second.
Number 2.
I need to go deal with something. Busy.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know anything about what this game is, you play as a defense attorney named Phoenix Wright, hence the name Phoenix Wright. And you're supposed to do various cases, get the defendant who you're supposed to defend, get you a defense attorney named Phoenix Wright. I know I said this. You're supposed to get non-guilty for all of them. And I'll explain, and you'll find out later why that's kind of funny when we get to the second game. But, continuing.
Alright.
This is basically the first case on every
Feels appropriately.
I know. First case on every game is basically teaching you how to play the game. Why am I nervous? Okay. There's a specific thing where I have to say this, and I can't do it in her voice. For those of you who don't know, there is an anime of this game, of all 3 of these games. Mia Fey, who plays your mentor, is voiced by Colleen Klinkenbeard, who, if any of you know, is very famous for another role. I'm sure my co-host can tell you what that is.
Yep. Urza.
There you go. Next time, say the full fucking name for the character.
Alright, well, but anyway.
It's Ezra Scarlet from Fairy Tale.
We scared away our viewer, apparently.
I scare away everybody.
Right. He's a very scary.
I can't do Mia's voice because the only voice I can ever imagine for it is Colleen Clinky Bears. So that's the one voice I will not be doing. I also want to mention goddamn boobs.
Yeah.
Hiya, Chief. It's the one voice we're not doing, just with Mia. Because I don't care. Yeah. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. This is where I wish we had women.
Yes. By the way, my co-host is probably doing most of the female voices because I can't do a female voice to save my freaking life.
Oh God, Francesca.
I think there are certain female voices that he's going to enjoy doing more than others.
No. I think I should have line on it. Actually, I kind of owe my good job to him. It's one of the reasons I became an attendant. In case you're wondering what that crunching sound is, it's me chewing on food because I'm hungry. I want to help him any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. You get to this part.
It's over!
Oh, come on. You gotta be sillier than that.
My life! Everything! It's all over!
Think a Wookiee. That crazy.
Yeah. Is that... Something tells me it is.
It's him.
Death! Despair! Oh!
You'll understand why I said that in a minute.
I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die! Well, then maybe we shouldn't be defending him then.
Yeah.
Nick! Hey there, Larry.
Hey there, Larry. It's my life!
Oh, yeah.
You get to do the prosecutor, though, too. I get to be the judge.
Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell him I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What the heck? This guy. Worst client ever.
What's wrong, Larry?
Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell him. Who took my baby away? Bipolar much?
The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? Newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been her. He's an act of getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do! August 3rd, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. You can have it.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Yeah, you got it right!
Well, he kind of looks like that voice.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Handshaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Defendant? Well, that's Larry Butch, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question! This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? I know this one. Glad I read the case report cover to cover so many times. It's... wait. Oh. No way. I forgot! I'm drawing a total blank here.
I'm sure not.
The victim's name. Oh, the victim! Of course I know the victim's name. I just forgot. Temporarily. You're gonna get. That's gonna be an ongoing joke, by the way. No. That your mentor character in the first case,
yeah,
gets a migraine. Look, you'll be loving that so much. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case?
Well, I'm gonna go with Cindy.
Yeah, that's actually how you do it. There you go.
Cinder block.
The victim's name is Cindy Stone. She probably was.
I'll tell you what, in this game I would not be surprised if her name had the cinder block.
Now tell me what was the cause of death. She died because she was? She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne?
Yes, Your Honor.
As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was?
The murder weapon was this statue of the thinker. He was found lying in the floor next to the victim.
I see. The court accepted into evidence. Okay. Here's one more stipulation. During certain parts of this, we're not going to be voicing them.
Why?
Because we're going to be repeating a lot of shit.
Alright. I'll wait.
Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness.
The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand.
Chief, what do I do now? Uh-oh. There gets excited easily. This could be bad.
I have a feeling it's gonna be.
Just remember, this is the easiest fucking case you'll ever get. It's always the first one. There's you.
Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim against you. Hey, watch it, buddy! We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet. Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Neither of those ended well.
Didn't they all die? You took my line.
Yeah. I wasn't dumb. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. Shit, I think I was dumped. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Burns, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned me. I was seeing other men.
By the way, unless it's an actual stutter on it, don't stutter.
Alright. She had just returned from overseas and went alone the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies! All of it! Lies! I don't believe a word of it! Can't give... Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died.
Oh yeah, they changed it in the original format.
Alright, so she arrived home from Paris on 7:30 the day before the murder.
You can pull it back up.
Yes.
Indeed, she first returned the day before the murder.
Dude, no way! The victim was a mother, but did not have an urgent coat. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! No, I gotta do... Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now?
Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions.
Probably stop him from answering.
My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case.
Oof. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That's too big a word for me, man. That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Let's continue with the trial, shall we?
I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone.
Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Where's the line?
What? Oh. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did, and maybe I didn't.
Anyway, what do I do? I just did that one, it's so funny.
I have a feeling if I let him answer honestly, that it'll screw my case over.
It's really funny though. Trust me, it won't matter. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth.
Yeah, I was there. I went.
Let's go. Okay, let's go no matter what you do anyway.
Order.
Well, Mr. Butts.
Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man. So, I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying.
Lying? Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? You missed your whole fucking line, by the way.
The man who found the victim's body. just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime.
You changed the voice.
Good point. I need to fix
Order!
that.
Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is bad.
On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand.
Sawit?
Yeah, Frank Sawit to the stand. Mr. Sawit, whose name I might remind you is so totally appropriate here.
It really is.
You sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct?
Oh yes! Newspapers, yes!
Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. We'll do testimony, but when we cross-examine, we won't do it.
Why?
You don't see why. Because it's weird.
I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Hey, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that.
Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working?
Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building.
Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally.
That's still pain, by the way.
The phone that Mr. Sawit had used was one of those. Your Honor. I have a record of the blackout for your perusal.
Now, Mr. Wright.
Yes?
Yes, Your Honor? You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? This is literally where you learn everything you need to know. What exactly am I supposed to do? Lies, what? He was lying. I love the logic in here, by the way. It's like, hey, is your client guilty? No, then obviously the person's fucking lying. How do I prove he's not? What's important? Okay. And no, I'll only help you during this proper reason.
So this is recounting what the witness said.
This is basically recounting everything he said, bit by bit. Hit R1 to double check everything. Check the entire thing. I know what the problem is, but I'm gonna see if you figure it out.
Well, I've seen the...
You can scroll through his testimony, find out what's wrong.
Oh yeah, it's not on the first page, but I remember what it is. Because remember, I watched the first episode of the anime.
Yeah, it's cheating. You already know what it is. What are you doing?
I'm looking for the thing.
I know what it is.
I know what it is too, I'm not gonna say.
I know where it is and what it is. This is the easiest. The first case is the easiest case to solve.
And can you scroll back as well?
Yeah.
Alright. Ah, wait a minute. There's one.
There's only one in every testimony.
Ah.
Well, there's only one in this testimony.
I was gonna say, how can he call the police if there's a blackout and the phone wasn't working? Oh wait, no, wait.
You said he thought to call the police.
Ah.
You gotta pay attention to what's being said.
Alright.
That's the key.
There you go. It's the time, I remember that.
Alright, well you gotta prove that he's wrong. How are you gonna do that? Just a moment, you see that bar, the blue bar at the top?
Yeah.
That if that ever empties, you just lost the case.
Alright.
And it goes all the way back to the last save. I know exactly what you need to use.
I have a feeling it's this, because there's a if I remember correctly, there's a clock on it.
Has there been any evidence to prove it?
No.
Then you don't know it's the clock.
Yeah.
And thanks for revealing the secret to it. You wanna know what it is? It's the autopsy report.
Yeah.
Time of death. 4 p.m. Gee, why is that important?
Wait a minute. Yeah, let me, wait.
He says it was 1 p.m., but the evidence proves otherwise.
Yes. You're a shit.
You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure?
Yes.
Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was nobody no body to find at 1 p.m. That's terrible. How do you explain the 3-hour gap?
Oh, that.
What's your line?
This is trivia. The witness merely forgot the time.
After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sark, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Do you know what the problem is here? I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Oh god, I forgot how stupid the judge really is.
Wait a minute. Getting a call?
Yep. We'll have to, we'll pause it temporarily here.
Yes.
Entertain them.
So, yes, I don't know why they feel the need to make the judge kind of an idiot. But, he's kind of an idiot. Which kind of explains it. Also, the way it works in this game is contrary to the American court system, where it's innocent until proven guilty. It's guilty until proven innocent. Which is why when that bar at the top, when you see him doing those things, the empties, the judge immediately says, screw you, and calls a guilty verdict. That's how that goes. But yes. So the trial court system in this game is interesting. It does seem to drag on because you have to sit there and go, okay, does this compare? You gotta compare and contrast. Later on, as you'll see, you have to press certain testimony. But that's how it works. I want to further mention Mia's boobs. God damn, those are huge. So that's how it works. And why am I so hungry?
Anyway.
And my co-host is back.
Yes, no Danny.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Wait a minute. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Wait a minute. How in the heck could she be watching a tape program if the power
like
was
I said, the judge is kind of an idiot. I've got this one. And I do have the Almighty Tome pulled up here, by the way. You gotta be careful. By the way, they will trip you up with testimonies like this. Because you have to do the right one.
Alright, so let me know, is this where I should present it?
Lift the whole thing and find and check everything.
Well, because the blackout record says...
Objection!
That's not it. But it is. Actually, I think it's any of them. You could have done it on. And this record proves it! You couldn't have heard a television or a video.
That's you.
Yeah! Bro. The defense has a point. Yeah, you finally fucking realized it. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sart? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Wait! I remember now! Mr. Sart, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Sart. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. You already know what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Do I have to tell you? It'll be like easy.
Yeah, let's see. I know what it is, but I don't know if I present this or this.
What would you present in the passport? By the way, you're on the wrong part of the testimony, you idiot. You have to have it on the right part of the testimony. So go to the part where you have to go to.
Okay, so it'll be the clock of this because it's a clock.
It's the murder weapon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that presented as a murder weapon? Well, then you do it.
Yeah.
Present it.
Objection!
Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? What? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sarge. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock.
Yeah, you did me.
Yes, Mr. Briggs. You're behind, you know.
The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it sets the timer cloud. As it doesn't look like the clock, I submitted it. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the murder weapon was the table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now?
I know there's a falsehood here, but I don't know if it's.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Find out. Make sure if I. Because I know what the discrepancy is, but I don't know if I say yes or no here.
Oh, I know what it is.
Do I say yes or no here?
Which do you think?
I feel like yes, but
Then do it. Well, I know what it is because I just remember what it was. Do what you think. I'll tell you. It'll tell you if you're wrong.
yeah, but I don't want to lose the case because I screwed up.
Is there a problem with it?
Yeah,
Now, let me ask you this. How would he know it's a clock? Connor, there's a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly, a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he... Should be obvious.
knew the victim.
No.
Went into the apartment.
How would he...
Yeah.
Yes. Why would he fucking know the victim? You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. If he knew the victim...
Yeah.
By the way this works is one of the witnesses is the person who did it.
Yeah.
Just so you know. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Mr. Sart, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless? Just looked at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? I never looked at the clock. I saw some... Look at... I hate you! It was her, I tell you! I saw him! He killed her, and he should burn! Burn! Give him that! Actually, that's my voice doing that. Order. Order in the court, I say.
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims.
Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? What case is already knows. I better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sawat heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply There's only one right answer here.
Try sounding the clock.
If you didn't get the right one, let's sound the clock. Now, here in this court, Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully.
Beep.
I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. It's actually ingenious.
Yeah.
So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now?
It's 11:25.
Ah! As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawat heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawat, try to talk your way out of this one. Ha ha ha! You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? Well, it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow. It proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. How am I supposed to prove that? Damn it! I'm so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Actually, you don't. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawat. I came all the way down there. I'm not doing his voice anymore. Girl, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now.
No, there is.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, Chief. It's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that.
Yeah, I know exactly why.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. I really don't want to do witness.
Keep doing it.
Dude, there's somebody that come up later.
You don't always have to do the witness, but you do. You took
Separate! Let's see you pull this one off! I've changed his voice so many times. That's why. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. Or no, it shouldn't be telling you the answer either, by the way.
Yep.
The victim had just returned from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. there, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawt? Or should I say, Mr. Did It?
Yep.
Order. Order, I say!
Yep.
Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Fane, your witness?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Yeah. Apparently, people just bring confetti to throw. And with that, this court is adjourned. Turns out that Frank Sowett was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sowett let himself in to do his dirty work. Dirty deeds done cheap. While he was searching for her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sowett grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. Oh, it's the 2:32 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Still can't believe he won. I mean, you gotta agree with me, she's fucking hot.
Yes.
But thanks, Chief. I just imagine Colleen Clinkenbeard's voice coming out of that. I owe it all to you. I've never seen the Chief look at this. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel.
My life is over.
Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now?
Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon.
Good, wait. No, I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed.
But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever.
Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. I love this one. She literally calls him another wrong name on purpose. Hey, butts. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Why are you not doing his voice?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Here, take this. It's a present. Alright.
Yeah, Mia. We don't do Mia's. And God, I don't want to do Maya's voice, but that's gonna be fucking pissing me off.
Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me.
It's impressive, by the way.
Yo, Nick! Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to cry?
I'm gonna argue with him on that. Larry.
Excuse me?
I love that.
Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me, so it's okay.
Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? You know what she's talking about?
The clock.
Check this out, Larry. We're positive you weren't just some chump to her.
Oh, what about that clock?
This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled.
Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all.
You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will.
Well, Nick, I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks.
This show explains a lot better. Hope that made it feel a little bit better. Because in the show, the way it's actually explained is there's an actual picture of her, and it's not Paris, it's New York, but then again you have to remember that the anime takes place in Japan. But it's, there's a picture of her holding the clock. That's the explanation. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah! Yeah, part at least. It's almost as if she has the hots for her venti.
There's also I think
So,
in the show there's a bit more there's a bit more cross examination because you have to
explain
prove
it out too.
you also have to because he had to prove she took the clock with them with her, if I'm not mistaken.
No, because it's already proven. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends," because that was. I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another in this incident. And I promised to tell the chief about me and Larry. There'll be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. But that's ominous.
Yes. So, do we want to do another case?
Well, it took us an hour to get through that one, but a lot of that was you learning the shit and us having to voice things.
Up to you if you want to.
Well, we can do another one. Let's do it.
Alright. For this first episode, we're going to switch off cases instead, because I just basically did an hour-long
Oh,
case.
no, there's a reason why I'm doing it the way we're doing it.
Oh.
Trust me, because there's investigation in this one. The first case is literally the training montage.